So just firstly, how's preseason going for you? Are you enjoying the workload, or are you looking forward to getting out there and getting on the field for some games?
Yeah, no, it's been a pretty tough block of preseason. To finish the year and obviously the start of the year too. So, you sort of get to this sort of period where there's a few weeks till trial. So, you're pretty keen to get out there and start playing footy again.
How's the vibe around the club? Obviously, last year it was pretty tough for the boys on the field. Does this year feel any different in the preseason?
Yeah, it does feel a bit different. I feel like we're a bit more comfortable with the coaching staff, obviously having another year under our belt with them, and obviously having a few key signings like Chad come into our group, and a few other experienced boys like Peter Hiku. They just bring that extra experience into the squad, and we are a pretty young squad, so it's good to have them around, and they bring a lot of energy.
So just tell us about yourself, mate. Where did you grow up? When did you first start playing footy? Did you play any other sports when you were a youngster?
Yeah, so I was born in Australia, and then I moved to New Zealand when I was 2 or 3. So I pretty much grew up in New Zealand my whole life, pretty much, in Auckland. So I then moved back to Australia to the sunny coast when I was 15, and then finished my schooling there, and then came up to the Cowboys when I finished school. But yeah, apart from playing footy, I guess like every other kid, they play touch and Oztag and them sort of sports. So yeah.
But who did you play your local footy for when you were living in New Zealand? Did you start playing when you were quite young?
Yeah, I started when I was 5, so Dad got me into it straight away. So I played for the Mount Abbott Lions in Auckland there. So yeah, awesome club to play for.
And did you play any like junior rep systems when you moved back to Queensland when you were a teenager?
Yeah, so when I came back, I started playing at the Kiwana Dolphins, and was playing there for my first year, and then the following year I made the transition into the Sunny Coast Falcons squads for Meninga season. So yeah, it was a pretty good achievement to achieve back then.
Last year you moved into the Q Cup with the Blackhawks. How did you find that experience? Was it challenging to come up against men as opposed to in the underage competitions?
It was challenging but good at the same time. I played a few games there and copped a pretty big injury to start the season. But once I come back, it's a pretty big step up from playing under 20s and under 18s. But once you get a few under your belt, you get back into it, and it's really enjoyable and challenging at the same time.
Does that give you a bit of confidence now coming into this season if you did perhaps have to make the step up to first grade?
Yeah, 100%. Having a good year of Q Cup under your belt is always good, and moving into this season too. I want to be playing the best footy I can so I can make my debut, and it's Q Cup's a great stepping stone to get into the NRL.
You obviously signed with the Cowboys on a development deal for this year before moving into the top 30. Is that an encouraging sign for you that the club seems to have a plan for you moving forward and for your progression?
Yeah, 100%. Last year I came in as a training trial and got upgraded to development. So I was also off contract last year too. So, to be able to settle down here and re-sign, know that the club is backing you for the next few years, it's really good, because the people that run this club, the fact that they have faith in you, to gradually become a leader possibly in the future, it's really good.
How have you found Todd Payton as a coach in this preseason and last year as well? Is there anything he's spoken to you about personally that he'd like you to work on moving into the season?
Yeah, Toddy's awesome. I love him, and I think the biggest thing for me is just finding some key areas in the game that I sort of, can take control of, and I'm trying to think of the word. It's not coming to me. But have some qualities around my game that I really dominate in. And yeah, every training session he's always there and giving everyone tips. And he's there to help us and get better. So yeah, I love having him as a coach.
What about some of the other coaching staff or perhaps senior players? Obviously in the forwards, you've got guys like Jason Taumalolo, Jordan McLean. Have they spoken to you about anything? Have they given you any tips, anything that you could possibly work on?
Yeah, 100%. Every training session, even if you're doing something not so good or something good, they're always there to give you a little tip or pull you aside and put you back into line. Not back into line, but get your mindset right for the next job ahead. So yeah, it's awesome having blokes like that around the club that have been there and done that.
For you as a young forward, it must be pretty cool to be training alongside someone like Jason, who has been arguably the best forward in the competition for the last half a decade.
Yeah, no, sometimes you got to pinch yourself. You get to train and you see him around, like you sort of don't realise how good you've got it.
You obviously come from quite a strong rugby league background with your old man, arguably one of the greatest front rowers of the last 20 years. What was it like growing up and watching him, and did that drive you to become a footballer when you were a bit younger?
Yeah, 100%. From when I can remember watching Dad play, I've always wanted to play footy. And having him by my side through my whole journey, it's been awesome, and I'm really lucky to have him there. Just not just on the field, but off the field too. I couldn't ask for a better role model to have by my side.
Is there any good advice that he's given you over the years? I'm sure there's been plenty, as all dads do with footy or sport. But is there anything that stood out to you advice-wise that he's given you? Being
professional on the field, but also off the field as well. Footy is not just a part-time job; it's a full-time job. It's what you do on the field and off the field. And when people aren't watching. For you, mate, if you could name one player that you'd like to model your game off moving forward, past or present, who do you think that would be? You can name a couple if you like as well. I think at the moment, I love watching Cam Murray play. He's quick. He's not the biggest player on the field, but he definitely holds his size on the field. Just the way. Yeah, he controls the game as a forward with his ball skills, or running the ball, trying to get a quick play the ball. I certainly watch him very closely. He's a guy that's obviously played a bit of middle, but he's played on the edge as well. Is that something that you like to pride yourself on, having that ability to play both on the edge or in the middle if needed? Yeah, 100%. I think having playing second row, it's good to learn as many positions as you can, and it makes you a bit versatile, especially for longer down the track in your career. You might be put in situations where you have to play that, and you experience and have played there. It's obviously a big 6 weeks coming up for you and the club. Like every other NRL club, it's a pretty busy time of the year. What would you say is your main goal heading into the trials now in the next few weeks, and what's your main goal for the 2022 season as a whole? Trials wise, I think probably just getting the minutes in and getting that match fitness. There's nothing like match fitness. You can do all the training you want in pre-season, but when it comes to games, it's a whole different ball game. So I think, just getting as many minutes and quality time as I can get. And this year, probably playing consistent footy. I had a pretty big injury and was out for a big chunk of the season last year. So playing consistent footy and hopefully getting the debut in the NRL this year. Well, mate, best of luck for that. I hope to see you out in the field for the Cowboys this year. And best of luck. Hope you stay fit and stay healthy. Thank you very much. Cheers. All right, thanks, mate.